I mean, I just want to be honest with you. I don't really want to get into all that right now. It was pretty fucked up. I'm going to write it out. And people are going to be like, this happened to you. But it's not about getting sympathy. I actually want to, I learned from it. There's things that I was meant to learn from that experience that actually helped change me. And that's the way that it's going to be put. That's the context that I want to keep this in. What I learned, what Alex took away from the experience, what I learned from living in the desert without very many resources or anybody and all that stuff, felt stronger inside. I did. I will when I go back and do it again next year with other friends that come down to the San Luis Valley, and it's going to be done. It's going to be better than last time. That's living it, not thinking about it or being worried about some event, but going for that freedom now. So my journey's been like since the Portland Preparedness Center. But I'll tell you what, what they were exposing to in their worldview was negative. That's why I should have talked about it all this time. But of course, I was being polite. I didn't want to, fuck up their business. Have Portland Preparedness Center already on YouTube, already made videos on YouTube. One, that was in another YouTube account that I think I started. I don't remember the password to get in and even delete it. All I did is try to help that company. So I kept my mouth shut. But what people need to know is there are people out there that seem fine and on the up and up. But you know what? All you have to do is, it's one thing to want to support someone if you think that they're a good person. That's why sometimes the prices are marked up a little bit more than they would be online. Okay. Sometimes there's a benefit to supporting a local business that wasn't a local business. It was all coming from up north, from Richard's property where he bought the stuff wholesale. And of course, Richard, I love the guy. The way that he's trying to play a mystery man behind all this, the man with no last name type, James Bond bullshit. Who are you trying to hide from? Who have you already fucked over in the business world that you want to be behind the scenes and have fronts? See, that's not right. That's certainly not right with how I feel that you treated me, because I trusted Richard. I trusted Richard to do me right, not say, this is your business partner. By the way, he's going to treat you like shit, bitch. You're going to take that. You're right. You're going to suck that cock. You're going to take that. I wouldn't take that. I actually was very upset the last few months. I was consulting my best friend saying, what do I do? This situation, this guy is totally like in my face screaming at me. It's like, slaves, come now, you fucking drug addict. Anything you can do to kind of marginalize me and say, you have a different view for the company. And they both sat me down one day to see if I was on the level, and all related to what we're going to sell and at what price. They had their model, and their model did not leave room for what the customer wanted. And I wanted to have that, call me bitter. I wanted to help you guys out and have the experience. That store did not grow in its inventory for months and months and months after I left. At one point, I remember walking in just to peek after I left. There were a few people that were there that I was somewhat friendly with, although they were backstabbers. And at some point, they had a falling out with Michael Knight as well. Never trusted them. Thought that one of them was a thief. And there were other things that her boyfriend, these people came, I can't even talk about this. They came from out of the woodwork right before all this melted down, this couple. They act like they're my friends, like viewers or fans or something, and they were of the light, and they want to help out. And they were parasites and actually infiltrated. But I don't think it was the government. I don't even know if I can even blame negative forces. Maybe just selfish people infiltrated so they can have their piece of the pie. So I came to visit them after I left because they were still there, seeing if there was some profitable angle for them, which there wasn't. So eventually they left. But I remember coming back before they left. The place barren. Hardly any books. And I kept telling the owners, the people in Portland, they read books. This is a book city. And I was talking to them. They're like, oh, I don't know about... No. You can buy books at cheap. Forget doing inventory. Just bring books. They will buy them. And try to have a few on sale. I wished him the best of luck, and I really hoped that Michael's heart would open in this process. He really showed me a dark side of him. I actually haven't had those many dark, close relationships with men since my father. So it brought up a lot of previous trauma for me. And people can laugh at that, but it was pretty bad. And I put a lot of myself in this project. So there are a number of things that led to me leaving Portland. This was just one of them. details. I'm thinking about details. And the day that I left, and reading about the solar flare, there was a huge solar flare in early 2011, and I talk about solar flares and change and people getting pissed. This guy would get pissed and flip out at me when there were solar flares. That's when his temper would. He would start walking in like with a very threatening aura about him, looking back and forth. And this was in a store, a place where I found the location, and I decorated, and it was like the old gunman walking with the spurs. That place had some weird energy. I felt like it was like a brothel or a saloon, old west saloon of some type back in the fucking old west fucking crazy pop 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 Portland days, the old gangster Wild West. Oh, it was off the charts. There's actually a book I just got done reading about it. Type in wild, lusty Portland's past and gets into Shanghai shit and all that. That part of Portland where that store was had a lot of that icky energy lingering. I talked about it a few times and our need to kind of change it, not turn on each other. It was because of like my spiritual views about that and demonology and just the feeling there's a lot of evil going on in the city that kind of got them probably thinking I'm a fucking schizophrenic. Alex might damage the business, his Access TV stuff. I think a lot of that was at play. A lot of that was at play. And I have memories of Richard telling me certain videos embarrassed him to be associated with me, videos that I put on YouTube. And that's fair. That's totally fair. But what wasn't right is the closure, all of that. Michael calling the police, saying Alex might crash the Bob Felix event because I was upset. I did some stupid things, like posted his stupid face, his picture, where he looked fairly evil, and I'm like, folks, doesn't this guy look like a fucking evil son of a bitch? My dumb ass left my Facebook open. So there was a lot of things that he was able to assume, and including sabotage the company, because I was posting on Facebook. Anybody else want to get involved in helping people get prepared? I gotta jump ship. I don't feel right about this. Of course, I never did that. Never got back involved in the preparedness. I mean, I put everything into the preparedness center, and I wanted to implement a business model that involved meeting the customer's needs, because I had a long list of things I wanted to order. And at that time, I was not able to deal with Richard directly. It was just taking abuse from Michael, and it just became a terrifying experience. And I was not healthy during that time. I would think I was drinking more at that shitty bar down the street. I didn't feel clean living in the survival store. That area did not feel clean. It all took a toll on me. It was good for me to get out of there. I should have never even been living in the store. I let it really affect me, and I let people walk on me. I never held any aces in my card, in my the collection of cards in my hand. Never had any aces, just all twos, threes, fours. I got fucked. I learned a valuable lesson, but at the same time, I was just trying to improve my situation and try to help people get prepared. I was just trying to do what I thought was right. To get out of a reality where I was bussing tables for 5 years before that, do something for myself, promote people being prepared, and basically use it as a larger platform to help neighborhoods get prepared. So I left Portland and stepped back from trying to save Portland, be some sort of a messiah. Oh man, I had grandiose thoughts around that time. I'm like, okay, the energy is moving up. This is the time for change. Maybe I should run for city council on a self-sufficiency preparedness platform that Portland should get ready for the next earthquake or whatever, and be prepared to take care of itself without the federal government. I was very passionate about that. It made a lot of people nervous. My anti-homeland security stance. I've got camera problems again. And many other things, going down to city council and talking about the federal government run terror drills